Hello everyone, Richard here at Calvinwazoo, and it's final video for Robert Zee 2's lottery. It's question number 10. And whoa, stuff slide. I got some stuff to show here, sliding around. And question number 10 is, if I win the lottery, what do I want? Because, people, the volunteers, have a letter or symbol or something assigned to them, and so they would send something according to that letter or symbol. And the idea of this video is to help the volunteers out, figure out, okay, what do I send this person? So, and Robert Zee is saying, hey, don't be shy. Be specific, or, have a big list or whatever, because it helps with the volunteers in figuring out what to send a person. So, okay, I'm going to go through this, and I'll also, have this in the down under so people can see that as well. But first and foremost, when it comes to music, I only listen to CDs and vinyl. So no cassettes. I've received cassettes as VCLT, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna buy a cheap boombox just to play, a cassette. It's not my format of choice. I used to have a lot of cassettes. I used to have a cassette player. I do not anymore. I'm just not gonna do that, or any other unusual formats. CDs and vinyl, stuff that's on, film-related content that's on DVD or Blu-ray, yeah. But if it's music-related content on DVD or Blu-ray, I don't have the kind of system to have that audio experience. I mean, I have DVDs and Blu-rays for documentaries and films, but I even have a couple weird. Well, let me, if I can show you here. Yeah, these are audio DVDs that I have for like Frank Zappa, which I bought out of a curiosity. But yeah, I really don't have the system to play anything like that. My want list and my collection is public on Discogs, and I go under the name Calvinwazoo in Discogs as well. My collection, however, is pretty much only vinyl. I have a couple items that are on CD that are listed in my collection, but I do not have my CD collection listed on Discogs. And for a lot of bands, if you see that I have or I don't have certain releases, take Sonic Youth, for example. I only have 3 releases on vinyl that are in Discogs. That doesn't mean I don't have other Sonic Youth releases on CD. I have a lot of Sonic Youth on CD, but I don't have my CD collection listed. I wanted to keep them like separate, completely separate, and I thought about creating a whole different account for putting my CD collection, just like under a different name, not under Calvinwazoo, but that yeah, I never got around to doing anything like that. But, you know, my want list, my want list does include both vinyl and CD formats. So, and that is public. So if you wanted to see items that I do want, you can check that out. Now, but I'll go through my list here of some specifics. When it comes to Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, yeah, there are some items that I probably haven't put in my want list when it comes to vinyl or CD. Some of them are, I think, but you can always check what I already have on vinyl. And if it's, but on CD, I have, a lot of Frank Zappa on CD, including some fairly obscure stuff. But there are a couple items that I do have in my want list that are CD only, and some that are fairly, rare vinyl releases. But for the most part, I would be really interested in Frank Zappa or Mother of Invention concert posters. I don't have really anything like that, and I think it would be cool, for some concert posters. Seat Headrest is a band that I am really, really into. So, but I have everything they have already, either digital or on vinyl. Except for Disjecta Membra. You used to be able to, that was available for download. It's not anymore. So I would be, and I have a burned copy of it, of Disjecta Membra. I think I do. No, I don't. I don't have I didn't get because you can't download it anymore and then burn it to CD. So yeah, I don't. I am only familiar with Disjecta Membra from listening to it on YouTube. But paraphernalia related to the band would be very cool. Even something signed by Will Toledo. That would be cool to get. When it comes to Captain Beefheart, again, I have pretty much everything, not quite everything that was released on vinyl. But what I would, again, be really interested in are prints, not original art, not original Captain Beefheart art, but prints, posters of his artwork. That would be cool. There is it's not uncommon and it's relatively inexpensive, it's often not in very good condition, but it's a record called The Sensational Guitars of Dan and Dale. It's Batman themed music. Would love to get that because it's Sun Ra and his orchestra that is playing the music. Anything by Chang YuSheng. I mean, here I have these two releases. They're difficult to get. Yeah, they're almost only available in Asia. Oops, this is kind of sliding out. This is the other one I have. And I have a CD compilation, which is how I started getting into Chang YuSheng. This is a fine copy. This one is warped. The problem with these, and I don't expect these because they're numbered and they're limited edition, and so they tend to be pricey. But hey, maybe you live in Singapore or in Asia someplace where it's much less expensive. Okay, I also love orchestral music. All right, and so I wouldn't mind, my preference is for piano concertos and violin concertos. And one that is on my want list, it's in my Discogs want list that I've been, looking for to try and find in a store as opposed to buying from Discogs, is a vinyl copy of Bach's Chaconne for violin. I've been diving into experimental music and avant-garde music quite a bit lately. So I have some Nurse with Wound. I have several releases by Coil. I have some Henry Cow. I have, I think, one release by Aksak Mabul. So, you know, anything in the experimental avant-garde realm, whether it's electronic music or other, you know, instrumentation, you know, that would be cool. Chicago house music from the 1980s. Would love to have anything like that, or acid house in general. There is a series called Classic House Master Cuts. That's, you know, there's several in this. And I've always, you know, they're not expensive and I've wanted to get them. Problem is that they're only available in Europe. You know, and which what happens is, you know, an inexpensive album becomes very expensive with the international shipping. You know, there are, you know, I wouldn't mind getting a newer copy of this record, Jerry Garcia's first solo. This is an original copy, but it is so water damaged you can't even read the back, which is why I have the card in here listing the track listings. Soul Jazz Records is something that anything by them, and I have quite a few Soul Jazz record compilations, but they have a huge catalog, and basically everything that I've listened to by them is I like it, you know. So I mean, the ones that I already have, a lot of these are newer ones, like this one, New York Noise is one. This one, Studio One Ska. These were all like recent record store day releases. The Holy Church of the Ecstatic Soul. I'm not a big gospel person, but this is an incredible compilation. This Gypsy Rumba is another one, Soul Jazz Records compilation. This one is a fantastic album, Space Energy and Light, very avant-garde, ambient, electronic music, great Soul Jazz record. I have the record A and record B of this Deutsche Elektronische Music. So this is number 2. So there's a number 1. But I have both the A and B records for the number 2 release on that. I have this Cuba compilation from Soul Jazz Records. And then I have this Cold Wave one that's really fantastic record, which is a new one, and so is this one too, since guitar and a drum machine. So, but as I said, their catalog is huge, and they're based in Britain. They have a store, I guess, in Britain. Man, I would love to go there, and you know, I would have to really limit myself. But yeah, Soul Jazz record comps. Garage rock comps. There are some great garage rock comps out there. I wouldn't mind. I have a couple, but you know, it would be great to get something like that. Just about anything. By no means no. So, you know, I really, really love the band. I have a couple records by them. One is a live recording, and then the other one is now I'm drawing a blank, but it's like their most famous record. Gosh, what is it called? It'll come to me, perhaps. Peel Sessions. You know, I have some of the more modern Peel Sessions, like this one for LFO, this one for Plaid, but there are just about any Peel session I would love to have, particularly for the Sid Barrett Peel session. I would love to get that. In fact, I would trade somebody this Peel session, Extreme Noise Tear, for another Peel session compilation, because that's another genre of music I'm not into, and that is the extreme hardcore metal that has the like Cookie Monster lyrics. No, don't like it. Or vocals, I mean, not lyrics. High on my want list is a German pressing of Nazareth's Hair of the Dog on the Vertigo label, because the record comes without Love Hurts, and I would prefer to have that than the American release that has Love Hurts. Just about anything by Stereolab, but in particular the EP Super Electric, I would love to get that. Any CD by this Mongolian band called Hunhurtu, it'll be in the list in the Down Under. Anything on the Guru Guru Brain record label, particularly color vinyl, the color variants. I have several releases, but they're all on black vinyl, so even if I ended up getting something I already had that was on the color variant, then that would be cool. I'm very much into Japanese math rock bands and Japanese jazz and other jazz fusion and jazz rock, psychedelic rock. So anything by the Japanese band Mouse on the Keys would be very cool. And then there's another band called Toe, Japanese band called Toe. I have everything in their collection that was released on vinyl, but I wouldn't mind getting the CD release of Our Latest Number is the EP title. I have it on vinyl, but the thing is that the CD release has their cover of War Pigs, and I've heard that this is a fantastic cover of War Pigs. Pretty much any vinyl anime soundtrack, either for film or a TV series. CDs are cool too, but I would prefer a vinyl one. But yeah, I'm very much into collecting anime soundtracks. Again, because there are so many color variants of this, I don't mind having duplicates. Pretty much any jazz release of any type, particularly from the hard bop and bop eras, but fusion is also great, and Japanese jazz is fantastic. I have my Japanese jazz collection is growing, but I would love to get more in that. So, and yeah, pretty much anything that's non-music, that would include posters or paraphernalia or T-shirts related to any of the bands I already mentioned, or any other band. I really don't have a whole lot of paraphernalia in my collection. I don't have space for they're not bobbleheads, but those figure things that people collect and they keep them in the box. Not too keen on that. I'm more into like posters, or smaller, items, postcards even, that are related to that, or T-shirts, concert T-shirts. That would be, very cool. So, yeah, that's what I want. That's my list. I'll have it posted in the Down Under so you can check it out. So here's my final video for the entry to Robert Zee. Robert Zee 2, the lottery. So this is my answer to question number 10. You can find me on Instagram as NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE 76. And also on Facebook as Calvinwazoo. So you can find me there. This has been a really fun contest to participate in, and even though creating the video for each question, it's been time consuming, but it's been fun. And now I finally am done with this, because I've got some other videos that I would normally be doing I need to prepare for. I hope you do. If you've been watching these because of the lottery, I hope you subscribe also to my channel. But hey, even just hitting that like button is a great thing. My channel is not monetized, but when you hit that like button, it's a signal to YouTube. The more likes it gets, so a greater distribution, and so more people can see and may decide to, that they like my content, and that's great. So I thank you all for that and the support. And as I always say at the end, pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.